Hey, what's up? We got a new episode for you. We're here with the man Xatoshi, founder of the TCA, the Crypto Alliance. If you don't already know him, he's about to introduce himself. Xatoshi, tell him who you are.
What's going on, everybody? As y'all know, as it says, I am Xatoshi Crypto. We'll get into it. How obviously I came up with that name because I was going from name to name every so often. I know people are like, "What the heck?" And we'll get into why that kind of happened over time and how we got to this. And yeah, obviously the founder of the Crypto Alliance, which is a powerhouse of communities and a real crypto lifestyle brand. Obviously, with my co-founders, Mr. BERT, CEO, and Killswitch, also on X.
Yeah, no, I've been in your guys' X spaces pretty much every day since I heard about the Crypto Alliance. Shout out to Zach from Subway. He put me on. I enjoy those spaces. They're pretty lax, chill, a lot of knowledge in there. How'd you get started in crypto?
Funny story is, you know, me and Killswitch, we've known each other for over 30 years. Uh, for the last almost decade, we've been, even closer, like best friends. Uh, and like I kind of was telling you before the show, is like the pandemic. We go back to 2020 when, we got hit with this pandemic that really changed the world. Like, let's be honest. Uh, and I was a contractor for many, many years. You know, uh, just like everybody else. Going out there grinding every single day, busting my back, sweating. And then obviously this pandemic comes and it kind of shuts down the whole world for quite a while. In my situation, obviously lumber prices were one of the most affected things. I think they went up like almost 1,000% price like overnight. And a lot of my contracts were custom homes, additions, stuff like that. And when I went back to these people and informed them of how much more it was going to cost, a lot of them were like, nope, they pulled the plug on the contract. So, end up with a lot of time on my hands, more than I've ever had in a lot of years. And me and Killswitch actually one day we're having a conversation, and he mentioned this thing that he was excited about. It was called Cardano, which at that time I didn't know what Cardano was. And that's why he mentioned, he's like, well, do you remember Bitcoin? And obviously, I remember hearing about Bitcoin many, many years ago. And back then, let's be honest, a lot of people were using it for like the dark web and for other things as well. So to me, that wasn't my area. So I kind of never really got into it. Uh, but obviously, him talking about the potential for financial gains kind of turned me on to it. So when I went home, it really started my journey. Google first, obviously, seeing what the heck this thing really is he was talking about. And then I kept seeing the word blockchain. And to me, I was like, okay, blockchain. So it gives me another thing to look into, and started doing my research into the blockchain and everything else. And, one thing led to another. I've never been a person just to jump into anything, especially when it comes to money in this investment world, because I didn't know much about it at the time. Uh, so I wanted to make sure I had a basic understanding, a basic knowledge of what I was getting myself into. And at that time, I'll be honest with you, it's not like I had a ton of money. I tell people I started out with about $1,500 is what I had to my name to kind of invest. As we always say, obviously never invest more than you can afford to lose. And that was kind of where I was at, especially obviously going from work to no work. I had to be careful. And it was about a couple months in, I finally made my first investment into Cardano. So that was the first everything I ever purchased. Uh, I think I got in like right around like 70 cents, 80 cents at that time per token. Not a lot, just put a few $100s into it. And then it was shortly after that, all these stories started dropping on all the large media companies, from Fox News to CNN, MSNBC, Bloomberg, uh, about this new sector that was blowing up. And I was starting to see these stories just like a lot of other people that were in crypto. You know, one of them was this young 18-year-old kid puts 19 bucks into this project called Shiba Inu, and in 120 days, his $19 was worth over 4 million. Also, the story about the two brothers that were had a failing construction company as well in New York, took their last $7,000 and put into it in a very short period of time later. It was worth over 20 million. Obviously, a lot of people know the story of Shibtoshi, very similar name to what I have as well. Now the founder of Squid Grow, where he turned his $5,000 investment into over 5 billion, which is crazy. And really, what it was is when I saw that, I was like, that's where I need to be. That's the place where I need to be. That's the place where I think I can fit in, and it's going to provide me the best opportunity. I don't have an abundance of liquid or cash. I can't put in thousands and thousands of dollars into projects and wait 5, 10, 20 years for it to possibly, give me a decent return. I needed something that was a little bit more high risk and high reward. So that led me into that sector, which obviously I was a little late to the party on Shib. I still threw a few dollars in there anyways because you never know. I FOMO'd a little bit. Uh, and really from there it was just the hunt. It was the hunt to find the next Shib, the next Doge. Uh, and it was funny. It was, shortly after that, I was just doing what I do every day, checking online, checking YouTube, see what people are talking about. And I come by this influencer, just shooting from his phone in his car, like kind of like I'm doing right now, driving around Atlanta. And he was talking about this project that had launched the day before. And what caught my attention wasn't necessarily the name of the project. What caught my attention is when he said that they were calling themselves the Shiba and Doge Killer. And I thought, like, to myself, like, those are some strong words to say. You're saying you're going to go after and take down the two largest meme tokens in the industry when you guys had just launched. Uh, and that's all it took. I'm like, you know what? You never know. So I threw about $500 into it at that point, and it was roughly about $15 to $20 per trillion tokens that I bought. I can't remember how much I ended up with. I think I ended up with like between 40 and 50 trillion tokens at that time. Uh, and the project actually was called Saitama, which later on became the Wolf Pack as they continued to, build that community. And then we started seeing things from this team that we never seen, in the space. Doc's development teams, actually seeing a face behind the project. And it was new. Not a lot of people had seen that because all these other projects, you don't know who's behind them. And I thought that was unique. And with that, I took advantage of it. I reached out to the team on Telegram. I said, hey, I've been in this space for a little while, but I'm still kind of new. I'm not asking for a job. I'm just asking to see if I can offer my time and my skills that I believe I have to the team uh, to be in the background and see what it's really like in the backside of crypto. Uh, and about a week later, I was reached back out to, and that's when they gave me the opportunity to work uh, with Aaron at that time, the CMO on the marketing side. And I was like, sweet, what better place to start out than in the marketing sector of crypto, because we know how important it is to every single project. Uh, and like every project that has their first initial pump, uh, this one did, like everyone else. I took my initials out um, and a little bit extra, and I kept myself a moonbag. Well, I know a lot of people sold out because it did go for the first low pump was nice. Uh, Basically, each $1 trillion at that point was worth between like $300 and $400. So people were selling out. But to me, I had a conviction. I knew that it was going to take patience, and I just felt something different with it. Um, so for the next couple months, I worked in the background with the team, wherever they needed my help, doing whatever. And obviously, this thing caught fire like that overnight. And it was one heck of a wild ride. Going from somebody like myself who has humble beginnings. I was raised by a single mom with 7 siblings. I'm not afraid to say I grew up on, Section 8 welfare, food stamps. My mom always worked. She never not worked. She always did her best to take care of us. And like any single mom, she needed a little help. And obviously, that's where all that came into. So to me, it's never been a thing about I've had money. I myself became a young father. I was a senior in high school. Actually, my oldest son's sitting right here with me, Isaiah. If you want to say hi real quick.
Hi guys.
What's up, dude?
Uh, who's almost an adult himself. Less than 6 months, he'll be 18. So I went to work myself right away too. But like anybody, I was a young guy, and I tell people all the time, I don't get into the greedy details, but I've made some not the best decisions early on, being a young immature teenager and man, if we want to use that word. Um, but I don't have any regrets. I really don't. It was trial and error. Trials and tribulations. In life, uh, we all make mistakes. It's what you do after those mistakes that I think that really matters. Because if you continue to just make the same mistake over and over, eventually it's not a mistake. It's just a character deflaw. And for me, I did go through full transparency. Uh, I went through a part of my life where, after an accident I got into, uh, I was prescribed pain medications, and eventually, over time, it spiraled into an addiction. And that's just me being full transparent, full honest. And about for the next 5 years, I battled through an addiction to pain medication, as well as heroin. And this is just me being full honest with everybody, like I've always done. And through those 5 years, it's crazy because a lot of people in my life, my family, were very surprised because in high school I was a big into sports. But the worst thing I did was maybe drink at a party here and there. Never was a person that did any type of drugs or anything. So it definitely kind of threw everybody for a loop that at 21 years old, this happens. And then obviously what comes with that type of lifestyle, uh, I ran into some legal issues, getting in trouble, doing things that I shouldn't be doing. Uh, and obviously wasn't the best choices in the best time because I was supposed to be a parent at that time as well. Uh, and unfortunately, it spiraled my life out of control for the next, like I said, half decade. Uh, but the reason I say, and I tell people this all the time, the reason I say I'll never change anything is because everything I've been through in my life, whether it's bad, whether it's good, has truly made me who I am today. It's made me the person I am today. For the first time in my life, in over 35 years, I can say that I'm a person that I respect myself, I love myself, I care for myself, and I live a positive lifestyle. I went from, you know, a young age in a more negative environment that I grew up into to eventually being an immature young adult that made bad choices and lived a negative lifestyle. And it took me quite a while to mature and learn how to live a positive life like I have been now for the last decade. But it's really made changes. It really has. And that's why I always talk a lot on the TCA and the spaces about, the power of energy, the power of actually when you do good things and you put that energy out into the universe, it comes back tenfold. And it doesn't mean that's necessarily going to be like financial gain or anything like that. It comes in many different ways. A lot of times it's opportunity, but you still have to make that decision to take that opportunity that presents itself and go with it. And that's why I believe crypto was brought to me. You know, that's why I believe through all my hard work into this space, all the hours, the last 5+ years, it's literally been 20 hours a day grinding. I believe that's why I've been able to be put in the position I have, and last cycle was able to achieve financial freedom for myself and my family. And really, it was what I realized. It became bigger than that. To me, it has allowed me to do what I'm doing today with building out the Crypto Alliance, and being able to be in this space and truly try to do good, try to work uh, with many others in this space that are, newcomers that are also been in the space for a while, that are veterans, to try to create an environment of camaraderie. We've seen in this space over the years, unfortunately, these cult like mentalities, these us against them mentalities. In reality, we all came into this space for financial gain. We really did. We saw something that provides an opportunity for the everyday person, not just some accredited investor, somebody that has all the qualifications to be an accredited investor. But no, we found something that's literally borderless, that if you have an internet connection, you're in the game. And you don't need tens of thousands, millions of dollars to get in. There's people literally out here getting their life changed by investing $20 here, $50 there, a couple $100 here. And there's never been anything like it. And for me, I believe it's the future of finance. I believe we're all still early. Even 15 years in, I believe we're all still early. We're just finally seeing ETFs for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and obviously there'll be more and more down the line. But it's still extremely early. It really is. Uh, and I want to make sure, and my mission has always been to try to work with development teams, try to work with building a community and recreating that experience that I got to go through back in 2021. Because I believe everybody in here should have that opportunity to have that experience, because it is amazing. It truly is. When everything's unfolding right in front of your eyes, uh, and you just know that it's that time. There's nothing like it. Now it's gonna be stressful. You're gonna have to. It's gonna try your patience. Uh, but if you're able to make it and come out through on the other end, it truly is gonna be amazing. And that's why I said that's what's inspired me today to create the TCA, to work with Mr. Burr, who's become a really good friend, to work with Killswitch, who I've known for over 30 years, because we have a lot of the same visions, the same beliefs, the same thoughts when it comes to crypto, uh, and really trying to put a little bit of good where there tends to be a lot of bad, you know. But we're just getting started. Like I tell people, like we got many more minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, and decades ahead of us to continue to do what we do every single day, because I love it. I love crypto. I'm passionate about this space, and it's given me and my family so much. And I want to give back and pay it forward and help as many as I can, because I feel like if I help as many as I can, then they can go forward and help more people. And what it really creates is what you want. You finally realize you can't save everybody, but if you can help a couple people achieve their and accomplish their financial goals, and then they can help a couple people, it becomes massive. It becomes huge. And to me, it's
Such a
all
good
about
feeling
being
too.
self. Oh, it's an amazing feeling. That's why I always tell people, like, that's a bigger payment than any type of financial gain, at least for me. you know One of my characteristics is being a caretaker. you know there's good to it and there's bad to it. A lot of times when you're a caretaker, you tend to neglect yourself, uh, and put yourself second, when you really have to really put yourself first in life, uh, in order to make sure you can do whatever you set out to do.
Yeah. I mean, you have so many siblings. I can see why you would take on that role, especially if you're the oldest male in the house. I mean, coming from a household of six of us total, totally get that. And then, bleeds out into your friendships and you want to help everybody. And it's a lot of tripping and falling. And then, like you said, eventually you realize you can't help anybody until you help yourself. And once you do that, you can really start to kind of grind and show people the way. But you're a little more seasoned now, where you don't make those same mistakes and mess with the same people, because like you said earlier, doing those things, it's like a big cycle. You're constantly doing it. That's literally the definition of insanity. It's good, that you recognize you're an independent thinker, and no matter what problems you came from, you ended up here, right? Not all of us were given the tools in our chest growing up, and we had to trip and fall and figure things out. And that's amazing from where you came from and where you're at now. You're the founder of the TCA. A lot of people respect you and value your opinion. You've gained financial independence. You have a family. I mean, that's a success story right there, man. That's the American dream.
It is. And hey, and I'm only human. And in this space, we know what comes with it. I'm not always saying I'm going to get it right. You know, there's going to be times where I don't get it right. But the thing is that, Mr. Burt says it all the time. We do it together, because there really is power in numbers. There really is. For a long time, you know, crypto's a game. And a lot of times people think they're playing the game of crypto, but in reality, they're sitting on the sidelines, they're not even in the game. And they don't even realize, they think they are, but they're not. I mean, crypto is truly, truly, it's psychological warfare. It really is. If you really take a step back and really look at it, it's psychological warfare. It really is. It's all about who can put themselves in a position to manipulate as many individuals as they can for selfish gains. Not for their supposed community they build and they talk about. It's really unfortunate that there's a lot more selfish individuals than selfless, you know. Uh, and like I've told people since the beginning, what we're doing might not be the most popular. What we're doing might not be, you know, make those small little groups happy. But I believe that the people that truly deserve the opportunity to be early into those projects, to make those profits, to earn and gain their financial goals, uh, are the people like that come and join the TCA, the people that are going to the Crypto Breakfast Club, the people that are going to the crypto movement in the afternoon. Three great spaces ran by three amazing individuals, as well as obviously their co-hosts, that make it all possible. Uh, and when I hear things from like Zach Humphreys, who says we inspired him to do his space, and then we see Michael with the crypto movement now, like we're creating something, you know. And like I tell people, everybody go out, create your own space. Keep the vibe going, keep the positivity going, uh, and realize at the end of the day, like I said, we're all only human. We're gonna make mistakes still, but we're going to do it together. And there really is power in numbers in this space. And we can make a difference together. Now it gets tough when, in this space, when you do get it wrong, because we know how people act. It's unfortunate. One day you're the best person in the world, because you got it right. The next day you get it wrong and you're the worst person in the world.
They only
And it's
remember the last
unfortunate.
mistake you make.
100%. 100%. It is unfortunate because I want to see everybody win. And that's why I always tell people, like, when I win, you win. When you guys win, I win. And that's the amazing and wonderful thing about it. But
Yeah,
you also have to realize this is crypto. Nobody's batting 1,000%. If they tell you they are, well, there's something going on there.
they should be richer and not have time to talk to you, probably.
Yeah, because crypto's the one industry I will say that you're going to have more losses than you do wins, but even with more losses than wins, you can still be much farther ahead.
Oh yeah, those wins are big here for sure.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. So the TCA, what do you guys got going on right now as far as projects? What you're focusing on as far as tokens? I know there's a lot going on with Shibnobi, 1,000%. Are you guys going like all in on Sol at the moment?
You know, it's funny. I've been a big ETH person. Obviously, that's where I've had my most success. We've seen what's kind of happened with Solana this over this last like year. Obviously, some people call it the shitcoin casino. Some people call it this or that, whatever. Uh, to me, what I see Solana as this cycle is like what BNB was back in 2021 cycle. Uh, now, I never was a trader on Solana. I've always been more of an investor than a trader. Sometimes I'll mess around and trade. But because of all the individuals that were coming to the TCA and talking about these projects on Solana, uh, it kind of got me into, downloading a Phantom wallet and playing around a little bit. I'm not going to lie, to try to learn that network and everything. Obviously, a lot more volatile, a lot more scams over there, unfortunately. Uh, but the one project that I will say that I'm supporting and I do hold a nice position in is Bentley Bay Memes. I love the developer. He's out here grinding. He's out here working. I love the community that's behind it, and that's one project that I can say that I hold a very nice position in, and I do support it 100%. And I know many others in the TCA do as well. To me, it's not about like an abundance of projects. Uh, to me, it's about finding ones that I feel fit kind of our vision and ones that I believe provide the best opportunities for people, and come with security behind them. Uh, Money Man was the first project that we supported that development team because they had reached out to us, and we had taken an advisory role in that project. Uh, full transparency, there's been some issues that have been brought up to me, and I have brought it up to the team. I actually have a meeting with the team later because of some of these things that were brought to me about the pre-sale wallet. So hopefully I can get some more answers for that, and get some clarification on it. I still 100% believe in the team. I still 100% believe in the project. And I believe that when it launches, as long as we keep what we've been doing since the beginning, we keep the sentiment positive. I believe it has an opportunity to have as much success as possible. When it comes down to it, it comes down to, does the community want it? You know, uh, and like I said, still backing it, still supporting it, still believe in it, and I think that you know the idea of money being the meme is truly one of the most memeable things if you think about it. you know it's money's the actual like number one searched word on like Google and other search engines. So I mean, if you want to be able to meme something, and especially obviously us being in this industry, I mean, it makes perfect sense. It truly does. uh, but other than that, recently we've gotten behind Shibnobi. Definitely think it's cool. After we seen Saitama and Solana, and what they're doing over there, trying to regather all the OGs and make things uh, right in a sense. It's the same thing with what this developer is doing over in Shibnobi. Anybody that was back in 2021, Shibnobi came in right before the end of the bowl, like literally right there at the end. Uh, and the original founder and his associates literally created an overnight success. This thing went to almost 2 billion, which just seemed like in a blink of an eye. And then obviously some questions were arised by community members and things, and private sale wallets and millions of dollars. And then next thing you know, the founders resigning and the project's abandoned, you know, and left with over 70,000 community members and holders and supporters wondering what's going on. I know there was a few community members that tried stepping up, and they rebranded and launched Alien Form. Uh, but I think in reality, what this developer is trying to do is bring back what truly made that project great, what made that community what it is, and that is the name Shibnobi. You look at all the successful memes in the space, whether it's Shib, whether it's Doge, whether it's Bonk, Whiff, Pepe, they all have a brand. They've created their memes into brands. If Pepe didn't have the Pepe name and recognition, it wouldn't be Pepe. The same with any of these top memes. Uh, and I think that's what is the true power behind these, is the name of them, but what it also represents. That camaraderie, that community, as well as obviously having a narrative. A lot of these memes that have come into the space have had external success and popularity, and have come into DeFi and have mirrored that. Uh, and a lot of these memes that are getting launched, developers and communities are trying to find a narrative that is going to work for them, stick to them. And a narrative is one of the most important things for a project, because not only does it truly show a representation of what you are and what the meme is, but it also is the factor and the motivator behind the community, and them pushing it. And I think Shibnobi has the right narrative. They got that narrative of redemption. They got that narrative of not just being about Shinja. Obviously 70 plus thousand investors got stuck holding the bag, uh, which any that comeback story, that narrative of redemption is a very powerful one. But also for anybody, any project out there where people have been burned, people have been scammed, uh, this is what he's trying to build Shibnobi into. The Sinja way, is about safety and security, and obviously giving everybody a shot at redemption. Obviously, yes, there is the Shibnobi name, and there's many people from that community, but it's bigger than just one meme, one project. This is for everybody in the space that ever has been burnt or scammed, And to be honest with you, as somebody that was big into sports growing up, has always loved had that competitive edge. Uh, I love the narrative of redemption. I love the underdog comeback story because if utilized right, it can be extremely powerful.
Yeah, no, definitely. Um, I feel like we've seen a lot of that recently, where communities are reviving themselves after developers or leaders or community leaders left. I think that's a really good, like you said, underdog story. There's lore. I mean, the lore behind Shibnobi, has that been since day one, and that's just being utilized here?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty
All right,
sure it
cool. Yeah,
is.
that's cool. I mean, it makes for really dope apparel. I like the name; it's really catchy. I mean, every time it's like Shibnobi, Nobi. I don't know. It clicks for some reason. I didn't know about it until you
I,
guys brought it up. To be honest with you.
well, and plus, the way I look at it is like he talked about like obviously wanting to, make sure it was the right time. Obviously it's years later, but we're in a position now where we're transitioning from bear to bull, uh, which obviously is probably one of the best times to really get things rolling if you're trying to launch a project. Secondly, I mean, this year, besides the ETFs, the biggest thing in cryptocurrency is memes. It truly is. There's nothing bigger than memes beside news, especially going 2024. Like I said, besides the Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs aside. And then I thought about it, and I was on Netflix the other day, and I just happened to see it. I'm like, dang, they dropped a TV show just a couple months ago that is based on the Shibnobis.
Really?
Yeah, so that could be a powerful narrative as well, especially in the past where we've seen some of these projects come out and try to do like the spin-off. Obviously, this has no relation to the Netflix show, uh, but if a show like that has tremendous popularity and success, it can be spun into obviously helping a project. I mean, look at Squid Games. I'm not talking about obviously one of the biggest rugs in history that we've seen many, many years ago. But a lot of these TV shows have also kicked off meme projects as well.
Yeah, there was. I can't remember the one on Netflix. It was the digital one, Love, Death, and Robots. They actually came out with NFTs. I swooped up a lot of those because I love that show. It went nowhere. They're like worth like 20 cents each. I got like 20 of each at least. But it's good it's healthy for the community. I mean, the more people that get eyes on that,
Oh,
you have
100%.
people that were looking for those NFTs that never claimed an NFT on OpenSea or wherever they claimed them from originally, and selling them on OpenSea. So that was a lot of people coming into the space just because a TV show directed people to have ownership of assets that they couldn't otherwise own. You can get a poster, you own the poster, but where are you going to resell it at? You know what I mean? There's like it's a good thing. I like that they did it. They should do more with it for sure. Specifically, Love, Death, and Robots because that's my shit.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Like I I always pay homage to obviously anything that's been brought good things to my life, and that's why I always like, no matter what, to the day I die, I will always pay homage to Saitama. Obviously it's now STC. We do have Saitama on Soul, which I'm hoping, those guys over there can really truly bring that thing to heights never imagined, because there's a lot of good people uh, that were hurt, a lot of good people that lost, and I think that there's an opportunity there. And I hope it succeeds, just like I think with Shibnobi. These are two projects that had tens of thousands of holders and investors that got screwed, that lost. Uh, and like I tell people, you're going to have people that, out of all those, you're going to have people that are going to be like down for it, right? They're going to be like, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's revive it. Let's get our redemption. Let's bring it back to the top. And then you're going to have those people where the feelings are still raw. People are still like, oh, F that. I already got screwed over once. I'm not going to get screwed over again. Uh, but that also can be used as a motivator for the development teams. That can be a motivator for the communities to keep pushing, keep striving, keep reaching new heights. And eventually, you know, through actions, those individuals that maybe aren't for it at first or kind of on the fence, you can eventually change their minds. And when that happens, I think that's when you'll see projects like Saitama on Solana, like Shibnobi on Base, really take off.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a new team, new developers, it's always going to be like a stain on the name, no doubt. But it's how you rock that stain. You know what I mean? Like, there's some shirts I just don't want to get rid of. I got a coffee stain on it. I just wear it proudly. It is what it is. If the community's behind you, that's all you really need. No matter what, hard work, show up to work every single day, gain the confidence of your community, and you'll be good to go. So these comeback stories, there's going to be a lot more of them. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw M swap, since they're, pretty much, yeah, everybody knows. I could see somebody calling it meme swap and then reviving it. You know what I mean? Like right now would be a great time for that. They've got a huge community that was in it. A lot of people still there say we're the new M swap, except the M stands for meme swap.
Uh,
We're going to see a lot more of those stories.
there's so many projects out there that people could, if they needed to be revived and somebody's willing to step up. I mean, there's a list that probably is longer than any list out there. Let's be honest, you know, and projects that had good communities, strong communities. I
You
mean,
remember Don't Buy
uh,
Meme? The original, like, Don't Buy Meme, the pineapple guys.
yeah, I mean, you got that one. You got Clifford Inu that went crazy for a short period of time. You had sh- was it Tom? No, what was it? Clifford Inu was one. Uh, Impact XP was another. Um, oh gosh, Shaman was another one. Like there, I mean, the list can go on and on of projects that, for a short period of time, had a very strong community. Were going to high market caps, and then the teams just abandoned the project. You know,
Yeah. Well, I know you got your son with you. I want to do this. I want to do this again. So when it comes to the Crypto Alliance or just the Crypto Alliance right now, is there anything you want to tell us about that you guys got going on to close it up a little bit? Because I want to have the rest of the team here too, if they're willing to come on to the show, man. I want to do the TCA roundtable here, maybe once a week. Get
yeah,
get
yeah.
our
Well,
guys in here.
we'll definitely make it happen. We'll have to schedule it. Like I know Kill Switch, he can make it happen anytime on his schedule as long as there's no meetings or anything going on. But we'll have to. I'll talk to Mr. Burt, and we'll have to set it up when we know he's not driving the truck. It is 2024. Get Mr. Burt out of the truck still though. That's the mission so far. So uh, no, really, our mission has been to continue to be consistent. That's the one thing that no matter what you're doing in this space, that pays off every single time is consistency. And that's why for the first 6 months we were 7 days a week. Now for the summertime, we've cut back to 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, on X basis, starting at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. For a 2 hour slot. But a lot of times, like last night, it went like 3.5 hours. Like I tell people, like if we're rocking and rolling, we're not just gonna be like, oh yeah, your show's done, cut. We're gonna keep rolling with it because there's a lot of great conversations happening in the space, a lot of knowledge being shared, experiences being shared, insight, information, you name it, it's being shared in these spaces. We always are looking to grow and expand. Uh, we've reached out to you know networks. We've been in talks with some networks over the last couple months, and great positive conversations. And we've talked to CNBC, we've talked to Fox, we've talked to CNN. Uh, and we've had meetings with their executives and kind of explained what we were doing and the possibility of a show down the road. We know that we have to continue to grow, and that's the one thing that they basically have expressed to us in the meetings with them is like, just keep going, just keep pushing, you know uh, and you just never know. you know we are always trying to go big. That's the one thing I've always done. That's the one thing Mr. Bird and Killswitch always done, and we've always wanted to do is like, we might get told no, but that's okay because we're going to keep pushing forward. All we need is one person to say yes. you know uh, but other than that, we need to start working on the TikTok platform. We want to start building out and doing like like little shorts, like even here in my home state, maybe going around the Mall of America, which is like the number two most visited and traveled place too in the United States, and just asking people cryptocurrency questions like, have you heard of Bitcoin? Just simple things like that, and doing little shorts like that, like we see, to really build out the TikTok channel that we have up, which we haven't been able to post on much. Keep doing the spaces. Obviously, I've been Mr. Bird has talked to with me about it several times about maybe, you know, one night a week or something like that, starting to do maybe live like we are here on YouTube, um, which I think will be amazing. But also, like I tell people, this is not just about us. This is about everybody. This is the Crypto Alliance. It's made up of every single one of us. And if somebody has something they want to do that is a representation of us, positivity, doing good things, trying to help people on their journey through the space, we have no issue with people that want to maybe start their own space or do a YouTube channel or a TikTok or an Instagram, whatever it is. We have no issue or problem with people doing that as long as it's for the greater good and the betterment of individuals in the space. We have no issue. Now obviously we don't want people going out there and using the name to do bad things, because we'll never stick up for that, or that'll never be a representation of us. But we truly are working, every day, and that's why we stay consistent and want to continue to grow. And I think when the bull actually does get here, there's going to be millions of new people coming to X, you know, like just like I did many years ago, when they realize it's the place to be when you're in crypto, and they're going to be looking for those spaces. And we don't need all the millions just to find us. We just need a small fraction to find us, and that's why I said these spaces will go from a few hundred people coming in every night to thousands and thousands of people coming in through the space, and that's what happens, with people returning and new people coming in. So, like I tell people, we're just getting started. The Crypto Alliance, if you want to join us, like I said, we're on X Spaces Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard to 9 p.m. Central Standard, or longer, depending on how the conversation goes. Uh, or obviously give us a follow on X as well. Mine is at Xtoshi Crypto, XATOSHICRYPTO. X is capital, C is capital, as well as obviously give Mr. Bird a follow at all caps, MR underscore BERT underscore CEO, or at Killswitch, KILSWITCH underscore ETH. We always keep our DMs open. So if anybody needs any assistance, has any questions, anything, always feel free to DM us, because we're here to help people out as much as we can. And like I said, we're going to continue to build, we're going to continue to grow, because we truly want to make the TCA a powerful entity within inside the crypto space.
No, yeah. I mean, going back to what you said about the networks, I mean, like you said, what's the worst they can say is no. I mean, step up to the plate as much as you can. I mean, what he just said is very important for people thinking that they can find a lane here. Don't think about it, just do it. You're going to learn along the way. People are going to tell you no a lot more than they say yes at first, but then you're going to get a lot more yeses as you grind. Very important. And when it comes to your community specifically, you have something special going on there with the TCA and Mr. Burt and Killswitch. I mean, it's very welcoming, easy to be you in those spaces. You're very knowledgeable, and you also talk to everybody. Never too busy for anybody. You're sending links, you're DMing people back. Like, a lot of people will get too big for that, especially in a position that you're in. And I respect you for that, man. You've been very welcoming, and I found a new home at the TCA with you guys. So if anybody is getting DM'd by anybody from the TCA and it's funny, it ain't the TCA. All right. And all the links that he just mentioned will be below, plus a lot more. Don't click any other links. Don't go searching for it, because you might get the wrong one. So click the links below. We'll have all the Twitters up. We'll have all the websites that we went over here too. Yeah. I'm going to show Killswitch's Twitter X account as well. I'm going to do Mr. Burt's as well for a second so people know. See, check them
Yeah,
out.
my brothers, Killswitch and Mr. Burt. Like I said, you know, I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else on this journey. Killswitch, obviously, why I'm even here to begin with. And obviously, like he always, I took it to a whole other level than he ever thought, crypto would be for him in his life. And then obviously meeting Mr. Burt, a half decade ago, right here on X, and then on YouTube as well. And then building a great relationship with him. Like I said, we've been to events together. We've met each other's, families, kids, significant others. I've had them up in my home state and stuff like that. Like, it's not just a social media friendship. It's a real life, friendship. I consider him like a brother. Uh, and I think that what I bring, what Mr. Burt brings, and what Kill Switch brings, uh, is a little bit different with each of us, but I think it just meshes together really well, uh, and makes us what we are. And like I tell people, you know, come check us out. You like the vibe, maybe you do, maybe you don't. You won't know until you actually come in and see what's going on. But if you're looking for people that are going to be real with you, honesty, no BS, that's what the TCA is all about. Like, I am who I am. I'm not perfect. I've never claimed to be perfect. Like I tell people all the time, my journey has not been, one of just rainbows and butterflies. There's been dark, stormy days on my journey in life. But like I always tell people, it's what made me who I am today. That's the biggest thing I always touch on is like, especially in this space, people like to throw stones in a glass house, in cryptocurrency. Uh, and it's unfortunate and it's sad, but I understand it's very easy when you're behind a keyboard. Let's be honest. There's a lot of
Yes,
there's a lot
sir.
of keyboard tough guys out here, and like, and even when people do it, I don't necessarily respond because I always tell people when you respond, you're giving that person what they want. You're giving them the power. The only people that lose power are those that free willingly give it to those individuals. And I've never been a person that's going to give the power to individuals. Say what you want to say. Like I said, I've always been open. I've always been honest. Yeah. Do I get into the gritty details? No. Now, you want to get into the gritty details with me? DM me. I'll give you my phone number. We can have a conversation, and then we can get into the gritty details. But like I always tell people, the man I am today is somebody that I love, somebody I'm proud of, and many people in my life feel the same way. Now, can I say about the person I was maybe 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Probably not. There's probably a lot of people that would have to say some bad shit about me because of the lifestyle I lived. But guess what? It's made me
Sorry, man.
who
This
I am
fly keeps hitting
today.
my ear, dude. I'm so sorry, dude. He keeps like
Nah,
getting me
it's
right in
okay.
the
It's
ear,
okay.
G. God. I'm like trying to ignore him. I
But
got two like hit me. I'm like, ah.
yeah. But like I
Nah,
said,
G.
if you're looking for no BS, you're looking for people that are gonna ride out with you, that are gonna be down with you, that no loyalty and aren't about no fake shit. Then come over to the TCA because I'm gonna give it to you how it's supposed to be, and that's real. And I'm always going to be 100% honest with you. Same thing with Mr. Burt. Same thing with Kill Switch. Uh, but we do it with respect. Like we tell people, we don't have any rules besides one rule in the TCA, and that's respect. We're all old enough. I always tell people, you're not going to like what you hear all the time. You're not going to agree with what you hear all the time. But we are old enough to let it go one year and out the other. And when it's your time, if you want to respond, hey, respond back, but make sure you do it with respect because everybody has a voice, everybody has an opinion, and everybody, excuse me, in the TCA that has those matters, regardless if you agree with it or not.
Yeah, no, I mean, you strike me as a man that has the bigger picture in mind with whatever he does, and that's thoughtful. Everybody's always thinking about themselves as they take steps forward. That's definitely not the case here with the TCA in general and you specifically. So that's just it's really refreshing to have in this space.
Appreciate it.
So, if you have any closing words, because I know you got your son sitting next to you, he's probably like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here."
No,
Do you have any
he
closing
don't he
words, any
don't
closing
care.
thoughts? Take it away.
Uh, you know, like I've been saying, I'm Satoshi Crypto, the founder of the TCA, the Crypto Alliance. Come check us out on X Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to whenever the hell the show ends. It's supposed to be 9, but most nights it goes well beyond that. Check us out. Like I said, come vibe with us. Come talk crypto with us. Come talk life with us. Doesn't necessarily have to be what's on the blockchain. It could be what's happening in your real life as well. So definitely check that out. Also, like I always say, if you're looking for a community that is passionate, that loves this space, that works together, that supports each other, regardless of what each other holds in their wallet. That's what the TCA is all about. We're here to combat and fight against the cult like mentalities, the us against them mentalities that aren't needed in this space. And we're all about positivity. We don't care where you're from, where you've been, what you got going on. If you bring the right energy, if you bring that positivity, if you bring that want to have success and succeed at all costs, hey, come join us. Like I said, we don't care where you've been, what your background is. We're worried about who's the man or woman that stands in front of us today because that's all that matters. Not who you were, like I said, I always touch on this, not who you were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, but who the man or woman is today is the person that I know and the person I want to build with and be on this journey with. So like I said, check us out, Crypto Alliance. Nothing but love always to everybody that supports us. Big shout out to my brother, Mr. BERT and Killswitch, my two of my best friends in this world. Real brothers. I don't use that friend word that often. Let me tell you, that friend word is very, very meaningful to me. So like I got very few friends. Got a lot of associates in my life, but very few friends. And also, just keep it positive. Let me tell you, from somebody that went from a negative lifestyle to a positive lifestyle, when you do good things happen. When you do bad things happen. So, it's obviously your choice, but I can tell you from coming from both that the one that's positive that leads to good things in your life is always the way to go, no matter what, because blessings are beautiful. Life has been beautiful for me. You know, my relationships are beautiful and great. And, I get to enjoy life, doing crypto full time. I'm loving and passionate. I get to help and assist people on their journey. And I get to spend time with those that matter most in my life, like my children, like my significant other, like Mr. Burt, Kill Switch, and that's what it's all about. Life is too short. Life is too short for all the other nonsense and bullshit that gets brought into it if you allow it to. And remember, you're the person that controls it. If you don't want that BS in your life, you don't have to have it. And that's one thing I have learned. And also, if I can mention something, is when you get to a place and start right now, be a person, because I was a person that never knew about boundaries, how to set boundaries. Make sure you're planning right now and you're setting your boundaries for yourself, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's associates, because when that money comes, and it will come, you got to make sure you're prepared what comes with it and making sure that you have healthy boundaries set. And I say that out of experience of somebody that didn't have boundaries set, and I let many, many people take advantage of me, and it's most unfortunate. But nothing but love from me, and I'll shout out to everybody that's a part of the TCA today and those that are still to come. It's always nothing but love and respect for everybody in this space. Like I said, whether you hate me, whether you love me, I'm sending nothing but positive energy your way and hope for the best for you and your family and your loved ones and those that matter most in your life, because that's just who I am now. So, like I said, I'm Satoshi Crypto, and I got nothing but love and respect for everybody in this space.
Hell yeah, man. TCA, Crypto Alliance. Everyone can eat here. Love it, man. Love it. Thanks for being up here. I'm looking forward to the next one. We're going to chop it up. Like I said, all the links will be below for all you guys, all the Twitters, all the links that we talked about. Also, please like, subscribe, follow me. I'm a starving content creator. I need you guys to give me some love. I'm going to keep doing this for you. Xatoshi Crypto, thanks for making time, man. Looking forward to the next one. You have a great day, man. Thanks.
You as well.